assistance for those tax cuts. I think people would be somewhat sceptical if we announced the tax cut program had started after.
Why? Because you wouldn't want the votes?
I think people would just be sceptical. People are sceptical, and that's just the nature of the way public views politics.
So you're looking at $10.6 billion over 3 years, and that's a lot of money. You're going into deficit. How are you going to afford it?
Well, the bond issuing program goes up a little from where we've been, but as percentage of GDP is actually very consistent with the last few years. There's not a huge expansion of bond issues required to fund this. Some of this is being funded through running down cash on hand.
Your political opponents are going to say, well, look, it's not enough. It's, the timing is all about the election, and they'll be offering more. What are you going to say?
They can't offer more without either borrowing or cutting social services. That is very clear from these budget numbers. There can be no mistake around that. We moved that $3.5 billion cash deficit quite quickly, and that's sustained over a period of time. You add in another couple of billion a year tax cuts on top of that, you very quickly get started chasing results.
What do you think this budget for you is going to be remembered?
I would hope it will be remembered for the fairness of the tax cuts. We've tried our best to provide a tax cut program which is fair across the board. We will need to have some further look at how we can assist those beneficiaries who do not have children. Nothing specific on this except just a lower tax rate on additional earnings. Obviously there are some pressures there as well.
There was an expectation, I think, that the elderly were going to get some special benefits.
Well, what they get is the effect of tax cuts. And there are a couple gets an increase of nearly $46 a week fortnight from the 1st of October. That's a pretty significant increase in their incomes. And that will be followed by the annual adjustment from the 1st of April.
What are you going to say to the National Party? So, look, it's not enough. We're going to offer around $50 a week.
What I say is, tell us where you're going to cut the social services. What goes? Is it 20 hours for your child education? Is it low cost of going to the doctor? Is it the increase in funding for tertiary students? Which bit goes under your program if we're going to have larger tax cuts? And for many families, the costs of paying more for social service would outweigh the very small number of extra dollars that National might give them, because what we can guarantee is if National's offering more, it'll be primarily at the top end, not to the low to middle.
This is not nearly as generous as what was offered last week across the Tasman.
No, it's actually bigger than what was offered last week across the Tasman. As a proportion of GDP, etc., and proportion of government spending and revenue, significantly larger. Mr Swan's tax cut program, ignoring the fact he was carrying forward some of Peter Costello's, was an additional $31 billion Australian, which is barely more than half the size of this package in relation to the size of the English economy.
Is it going to be enough to stop that flow across the Tasman?
I would hope that people would see that this will lead to ongoing increases in real post-tax incomes. The problem we face in Australia is not what we're doing. In fact, there's still a minerals boom. And that, of course, is also pumping up the government coffers because they get a lot of money off of those minerals. And they're still running a huge budget surplus as well as their tax cut program. We don't have a minerals boom.
You're seen as a fiscally conservative finance minister, I think. This probably reinforces that.
I think some experts will be saying that, in fact, I'm running a much finer line in this budget than has been my woes in the previous 8 budgets. And we'll have some questions about that.
Who's going to like this? So are you going to get general acceptance?
Oh, I think we'll have... I think what you always get with budgets is everybody has different and usually self-cancelling complaints. Not enough money spent on education, not enough money spent on health, not enough money spent on da-da-dum, and too much revenue being raised. And that's why the Minister of Finance is never the most popular person in the government.